Теперь открыто на Западе говорят о том, что они готовятся к войне с нами, наращивают военные наступательные бюджеты. Значит, вот эти дроны, удары по гражданской инфраструктуре. Для чего? Ну, раскачать общество. Конечно, при таком массивном воздействии, когда весь Запад на них работает, в огромном потоке идут эти беспилотники, вот создать какую-то неуверенность в действиях российских вооруженных сил. Теперь открыто на Западе говорят о том, что они готовятся к войне с нами, наращивают военные наступательные бюджеты. Значит, вот эти дроны, удары по гражданской инфраструктуре. Для чего? Ну, раскачать общество. Конечно, при таком массивном воздействии, когда весь Запад на них работает, в огромном потоке идут эти беспилотники, вот создать какую-то неуверенность в действиях российских вооруженных сил.
Shalom. We give all honor and praises to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua, Hashem, Rakakodash. The bonus to the elders, apostles, group minister, and Thomas, churches, sincerity, citations to the hopeful that the spirit of the fourth Lord. It's going to be another day to break. Fuck you. It's going to be a response video entitled Putin, NATO is declaring war by military spending hike. Okay. So Putin basically said that NATO, which is the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, which is a consists of various European countries like Great Britain or UK, France, Spain. I mean, if you don't know it, you can look it up. But he said that the NATO countries they're declaring war by increasing their military offense. Okay. So to him, that's a declaration of war, right? So that shows that the times we're in, okay, the times that we're in, and the things, and the reason, it's all according to the will of the Lord, anyways, okay, because it all goes back to prophecies, okay. The third woe is drawn now. Revelation 11. Revelation 11 and 14 reads, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe is coming quickly. The second woe, we're referring to the second destruction of World War II, right? The first woe and the second woe has passed, right? The third woe coming quickly, meaning the destruction, the World War III, okay, comes quickly, right? And what the World War II ended 1948, I believe. 1945, like you, ended 1945. And that was, doesn't feel like, it's just, how long is it? Till now. So it's been 81 years. or technically 80 years, right, since the U.S. hasn't been involved in an official world war because Japan surrendered September the 2nd, 1945. So that marks the end of World War II. Well, and that marks the end of the Babylon the Great, USA not being involved in a major world war. Okay, so it's been 80 years since World War II from now, from when World War II ended to now. Okay, 80 years. All right. So the third war is coming quickly, right? So it's not even 100 years yet, right? So we are about to go into another world war, okay? A modern war, okay? So, you know, and this all is because of prophecies has to take place. We cannot stop prophecies, you know. And what are the prophecies? Right? The prophecies are, you know, the World War III, okay, is next. Is the next major prophecy. The MLCD being made mandatory, the microchip being made mandatory, and then the return of our Lord Yahweh Shah, you know, who's gonna break in pieces these heathen kingdoms are rulership, starting with Babylon the Great, America, right? It's what was spoken about in Daniel. Okay, the rock, right, the stone, right, that broke the statue, right? That stone represents Yahweh Shah coming back and and destroying these kingdoms, right? These nations, Esau taking him out of power. So I'm just gonna get the point right, right? Because this is a prophecy, right? So I'm gonna get the point in here. Joel 3:9 says, "Proclaim Jesus among the Gentiles." So this is prophets. Remember, the prophets of old, they prophesied against many countries, against nations, you know. And Jeremiah 28, Jeremiah 28 and 8. Prophets of So the prophets that have been before me and before thee are old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. Okay, so yeah, so the prophets are old, right? Prophesied, okay, you know, about war, okay, coming to unto nations, right? So this is nothing new. There's nothing new under the sun, right? This is what we're doing. We're prophesying, right? And we know it'll come to pass, right? Because when you go back to Jeremiah 28 and 9, you're the prophet which prophesied peace. When the word of the prophet should come to pass, then shall that prophet be known that the Lord Yahweh by Shem Shah has truly sent him, right? So when a prophet speak a word, you know, and that word and that prophecy come to pass, then that how you know that the Lord is still with that prophet, right? So we know that the third woe, that the Lord is right. He's about the, you know, you want Yahweh Shah, he controls the king, the heart of the king, right? And turn it where so he will, right? So the Lord, so these presidents, prime ministers, kings, queens, world leaders, however you want to call them, right, are in the palms of the Lord, right? And the Lord is controlling them. He's making them do his will, right? And this is his will. Prepare war, right? These nations, how are the nation preparing war, right? By boosting up their military offenses and defenses, okay? You know, wake up the mighty man. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords. I mean, what? Basically turn your farm equipment into military weapons, right? Or to basically, you know, spend your country GDP spending basically spend a nation whole, you know, to basically spend more into a nation to spend more into their defense, okay, rather than um, domestic things, right? And your pruning hooks into spirits, let the weak say, "I'm strong." Okay, and this is what we're seeing. We're seeing these nations like Iran saying that they're strong, right? Iran, U.S. is trying so hard to negotiate, with Iran, but Iran is not taking it, right? They're fighting back, right? So for example, countries like Iran are saying that they're strong, you know. And Donald Trump also admitted that Iran is strong, but admitting that they have strong military, So these nations, the Lord, he rooted in the kingdom of men, okay, you know, and we're seeing it, right? Because these nations, Trump got his border peace, they trying to, the what you have the NATO peace troops, okay, in Europe trying to bring peace NATO peacekeepers, all right, which is a military force deployed by the alliance to maintain security, support conflict resolution, and assist in post-conflict stabilization on international mandates. So you have these peacekeepers troops, right? There's no peace to the wicked, said the Lord. Okay, there's no peace, right? There's a time of war, which we're in, right? We're in a time of war. Okay, there's war happening daily. We're not in a time of peace. So Ecclesiastes 3:8 reads, "A time to love, a time to hate, a time of war, and a time of peace." We're not living in that time of peace. The time of peace is going to come in the kingdom of heaven when the Israelites, which are the righteous, are in authority. All right, that's a time of peace, because during in the kingdom of heaven there won't be no war. Okay, all war will be done with. That's when it's gonna be the opposite, right, of Joel 3:11, or Joel 3:10. Instead of beating our plowshares into swords, we're gonna be beating our swords into plowshares. We're gonna turn all the military equipment, everything to farm equipment, and the slaves gonna be mainly farming, which will be heathens, right? The other nations, okay, just Moab, Esau, okay, Ham, right? They'll be our servants, right? In their rightfully role, okay. But the point is, we're not in that time of war. We're not in that time, we're not in a time of peace. We're in a time of war, okay. And it being shown by the statement Putin made, right? So I'm gonna close here by giving all doing praises to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua, Bashem, Kadash. Next time, say Shalom.